Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Sean's Horror Corner. As always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm super excited to welcome back my friend Matt from Getting Off, although he's been keeping me in suspense all day about this. Matt, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm just, we're going through Wrong Turn. You and I've talked about this one a little bit. I told you that this one we're talking about tonight, I actually like. I won't go into too much detail yet. And all day, I've been waiting on Matt to give me some kind of response, like, yeah, this one's good, or no, I don't like it, just something. And he's been silent, and it's killing me
Well,
all day long.
why would I ruin the suspense of our recording and letting you know my thoughts and feelings about this movie before then? Because I didn't want you to have, an idea of where I was coming from. But since we're here and we're live, Sean, I will tell you this is probably my favorite wrong turn so far.
Damn, all right. I am so happy to hear that. Very happy to hear that. All right, good deal.
Listen, number one is number one. It has all of the famous people and all of the things, which is great and fun. But for what I want in a wrong turn movie, which we have talked about extensively over
Yeah,
4 episodes,
yes.
inbred cannibals, really cool kills, a little bit of nudity. This hit every fucking benchmark that I could ask for.
Yes.
And I enjoyed it. So we were rock bottom after three.
Yes,
And we
it
were
was
like,
not
there's
good.
nowhere to go up from here, but we went way up. We took the elevator to the top floor of my expectations. So,
Very good. All right, that makes me happy. I'm excited now. So this is going to be a lot of fun to talk about tonight. But before we get started, Matt, go ahead and take a minute to promote your channel. Talk about anything that you may have coming up.
I don't know if it'll have dropped by then or if it'll be coming up soon, but I did just record an episode with the Final Girls for their Patreon. If you guys don't have that, go check that out because Sean and I love Kelly and Sarah, where me and Kelly sit down and talk the Evil Dead franchise. The entire thing, the three new movies, the three old movies. There's a little bit of back and forth. There's a little bit of Ash versus the Evil Dead in there. It is a good time. I may have called Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness a Evil Dead movie. Um, it, it's all there, so go check that out. And then this upcoming Sunday, from when you hear this, we are doing the Katie Horror Showcase, and Katie is watching Joyride for the very first time. So you can
Oh,
come join
wow.
us live at 9 p.m. Central on Sunday for Katie's first viewing of Joyride and see how she enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely check that out. I'm curious to hear that one myself because Joyride, man, it's one of those movies that I saw it a long time ago. I won't go too much into it. And I don't know what it was. Do I think it's a great movie? No. But at the same time, I really like it. Like it for some reason fell into that like comfort movie category for me. There were multiple nights where I'm laying there like trying to go to sleep. I wasn't feeling tired. And I'd throw on Joyride and start watching it and just kind of relax and end up going to sleep. Like, I don't know. It's a comfort movie. Joyride's fun.
I've been selling Joyride to Katie for a while now, and she's been pushing it off because I keep telling her that it's a prequel to Fast and the Furious. And she goes, it's not a prequel to Fast and Furious. I'm like, it's Paul Walker driving a car, and it's all about family. So,
It sounds like Fast and the Furious.
it sounds like Fast and Furious to me.
I completely agree. And yeah, I definitely want to hear you and Kelly talk about Evil Dead franchise. If you don't already, I mean, they've been on my show multiple times, but not only go check out Matt, follow Creatia World, follow Getting Off, but definitely go check out the Final Girls as well. Kelly and Sarah are great. They will be back soon to talk about Final Destination 3. I was trying to remember which one we were on. We'll be talking about Final Destination 3 soon. So
Ooh,
now you said
roller
you
coaster of
mentioned,
love.
yes, you said you mentioned that the Doctor Strange movie might be an Evil Dead movie. Did you also mention that Lee Cronin's The Mummy is an Evil Dead movie?
Yes, we did. We
Okay.
did mention the tie-in between Lee Cronin's The Mummy. So Sam Raimi directed Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness,
Right.
and there's a Necronomicon. There is an undead version of Doctor Strange brought back from using the Darkhold, the Necronomicon. It's
Okay.
basically like Sam Raimi just did a MCU version of Evil Dead, and I loved it. I did. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I just everybody I've talked to, it's so funny because I stayed away from hearing any spoilers about the Mummy because for some reason I'd seen the trailer. I thought this looked really good, so I wanted to go check it out. And when I walked out of the theater, I didn't realize other people were saying it too. I walked out of the theater and I'm like, that's a fucking Evil Dead movie. Like that's all that
uh
was.
huh.
I hear another guy and his girlfriend walking out beside me, and he turns to her and he's like, that was Evil Dead. That was a Deadite. And of course, I guess she didn't. She's like, "What's that?" And I was like, "Oh wow, okay." But I started hearing other people talk about it, and then I did my episode on my YouTube channel, and other people were chiming in, and then I was watching some other stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, this is not like just something I figured out. Everybody knows this." So yeah,
Well, yeah, from the tie-in with Professor Bixby, which is the
yeah,
same last name as Ellie and Beth from Evil Dead Rise,
right,
to the fact that, like you said, the mummy and everyone possessed afterwards functioned basically as a deadite.
yeah,
Um,
100%.
I had a hard time with it my first time through just because it felt really long. It felt like it took a while to get there, but I've actually grown to really enjoy it, especially when it picks up, when things start happening, when the kills start coming in and all of that. So I personally, I really like the Mummy now.
I need to give it a rewatch because I have not watched it again since I went and saw it in the theaters. And my first opinion wasn't great. I didn't think it was a bad made movie. It just wasn't a mummy movie, and it frustrated me because that's what I wanted to see was a mummy movie. And I'm like, this is not the fucking Mummy. So it bothered me. But maybe now that I'm over it and I know what it is, I can watch it again and enjoy it a little bit more. But yeah, we're not here to talk Fast and the Furious. We're not here to
Nope,
talk the Mummy, Doctor
nope.
Strange, Evil Dead, any of that. We are here to talk Wrong Turn 4. And I'm super excited to get Matt's take on this now because, I had told you before, we talked about Wrong Turn 3 last week. Neither one of us liked it. And I was saying then that I thought, it had been a long time since I'd seen it, but I thought I really liked Wrong Turn 4. And turned it on the other night to watch it to get ready to talk about it with you. And 5 minutes in, I'm like, yeah, I love this fucking movie. I really do like this movie. But instantly, my thoughts were like, okay, come on, Matt, come on, be with me here. So this is going to be fun to talk about.
So I'll tell you this: when it first started, and we were in the asylum, and he's talking to the doctor, I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this because something about the ambiance of the asylum at first
Mhm.
threw me off. But one thing
Okay.
we always say at Getting Off is we are lore whores, and this gave us all of the lore. You
Yes.
got everything behind Sawtooth and Three Fingers, and is it One Eye?
One eye. Yes.
Yep. How they ended up where they ended up. We don't know how they got to the backwoods of North Carolina from this ski resort, but
Okay.
that not important. What's important is we got backstory of where they came from. We got a bunch of fun shit. We got 7 minutes before the opening title, which was
Yes.
insane.
Yes.
Because I thought that I had missed it, and then it came up, and I'm like, oh shit! I actually had to rewind and like, was this all really just how we're like? This is how we're starting. It's a great opening with a lot of
Yeah.
cool shit. So
No, I completely agree. All right, we will jump in and get ready to get started. Tagline for this film, much better than the tagline for the other films. Frost is not the only thing that bites in the snow. Brief synopsis: a group of friends take refuge in a deserted sanatorium, after they are left stranded in a snowstorm. Later, the place becomes a death trap when man-eating cannibals surround them. Film released October 25th of 2011. Directed again by Declan O'Brien, distributed by 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment. 93-minute runtime, $2 million budget, no box office numbers. A couple of members of the cast real quick: Sean Skeen, Dan Skeen, Scott Johnson, Jenny Pudovic, Tanika Davis, Caitlin Lieb, and Tara Vanessa. Matt, your thoughts on cast and characters?
um, is it? I believe it's Kyle. Um, I have it here. Yeah, Kyle reminded me of like Timu Jared Padalecki. I was
Okay.
looking at him and I'm watching him. He had the same haircut. He had a very similar face, and that's all I kept thinking of. But this is the most diverse cast that we have
Yeah.
had in a Wrong Turn movie so far. Like we did Wrong Turn 2, and they had all of the people for the game show,
Right.
the reality TV show, but they were all for the most part fairly similar. And here we've got people of color, we've got lesbians, we've got a larger gambit of a cast and crew here,
Yeah.
which I did appreciate. Um, so I enjoyed that. I thought everyone was great. I loved the fact that we went with practical effects as opposed to really shitty CGI, like
Absolutely.
number three.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the plot was really fun. What's interesting about this is, and I thought about this after the conversation we had, are our issue with 2 and 3 was the title, right? It's Wrong Turn, Dead End, and Wrong
Yeah.
Turn, whatever the fuck 3 was. Or maybe 3 was Dead End, and no, I
One
thought
was
2 was
Dead
Dead
End
End.
and one was Left for Dead. I can't remember
Yeah,
which
I
of it.
think 3
Yeah.
was Left for Dead, and
Yep.
we're like, these don't really make sense based on what we're watching in the movie. You know, like where's Wrong Turn Prison Break? But
Right.
what's great about the Wrong Turn movie is it's because they make a wrong turn. We talked about how it reminded me of The Hills Have Eyes, where the road they wanted to take was shut down and they had to go down a path
Right.
that wasn't on the map and all of that. And here we get a line where they go, I think he made a wrong turn, and we've got someone guiding them the wrong direction. So we've
Yeah.
gone back to the crux of what this movie is someone went the wrong way and ended up in a really shitty place. And I fucking
Right.
love that. I was like, this is
I agree.
great.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I'm with you. This, we're not going to get any mind blowing performances out of this. I mean, but I think everybody is sufficient. Everybody does a good job. Um, I mentioned one of the things, when we talked about the first one, that I was a big Elijah Dushku fan, and I thought she was really good in Wrong Turn. I also find myself, I don't know what else she could have possibly been in, but I kind of like this Jenny Kudovic, or however you say it, as well, in here. So, we've got people that are behind, but the group also seems somewhat fun. Now, are some of the guys assholes? Yes. Do they all maybe have a little bit of that side to them? Sure. But they just seem like a much more fun group than any of the other groups we've also gotten in the film, I think. So the characters are just much more likable. I mean, it seems like a group I would like to hang out with. This would be a lot of fun to hang out with these people, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciated that. Um, the soundtrack, like the score is what it is, but there are a few songs that play in this movie that I'm like, I don't think I've ever heard this song before, but I kind of like it. So I was enjoying the music. I like this story. I'm with you. We get the lore. The Wrong Turn gets mentioned. There are so many things. It makes me wonder watching this movie, what the hell happened with 2 and 3? Because this is just so totally different. And it's the same director as 3. I'm not sure about 2. But yeah, it's just a total change from how bad 2 was, or how average 2 was, and how bad 3 is, to then get to this. It just really impresses me.
Well, I've got some info for you.
Okay.
Apparently, he is a fan of 3s, right? Because that's weird. How that? Oh no, never mind. Or a fan of sequels.
Okay.
So I'm trying to see because you said, all right, director. I don't see 3 on here in his directing. Oh yeah, there it is. So he did direct 3. He also directed the Marine 3 and Joyride 3.
Okay.
The Marine 4, and then he's also the director of Wrong Turn 5, so he'll be directing the next one we watch too. So hopefully, from the third one to this one to 5, he's learned some things, and we get to enjoy 5 as much as we enjoyed this one. Is because he also wrote 5.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it'll be interesting. There's not a lot about 5 that I remember, just a couple of things here and there, but yeah, we'll get there. So let me just mention a couple of behind the scenes real quick, and then we will start walking through this plot. So this film was actually shot in an actual abandoned sanatorium in Brandon, Manitoba, Canada. Kind of cool, I thought. Makes it look realistic. Most of the snow scene in the film is real. They did have to bring in a few things here and there, but most of it is actually real. Photos of the mental patients that are seen in the files at the sanatorium are actually photos of the crew members, all just posing to get these pictures taken. And Sean Skeen is the fourth person to play Three Finger in this franchise. I really like Three Finger in the first one. He disappoints me a little bit in the second one. He's terrible in the third one. And then he bounces back and is pretty good in this one, in my opinion, as well. But he also plays another character in this movie. So he's got 2 roles here. He's Three Finger, and he's one of the other guys, the guy that gets killed first. I'm trying to find his name real quick without taking too much time.
Connor?
Vincent.
Vincent.
Yes, so he plays Three Finger, and he also plays Vincent in this one.
So your biggest complaint about 2 and 3's Three Finger, which is your favorite character, was the laugh. And Sean brought the laugh back. Like, that was the other thing. Like, we brought Sean brought the laugh back for Sean. Like, all the things we're talking about that made this movie so enjoyable, that made us happy, was going back to what the original was and giving us more of what we wanted from the original. The laugh from Three Fingers, which was so iconic. The fact that they actually made a wrong turn. getting rid of the shitty CGI, having a fun group of people like you said, the acting is going to be better in the first one because you have well-trained actors, Emmanuel Cherky and Elijah Dushku and all of these people. So like, but it was a fun cast, and we brought the laugh back. Like we got Three Fingers back, kind of where we needed him to be. Like it was so good.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, let's jump in. We're going to start walking through this a little bit. And we start off with the long opening scene that Matt was talking about. 1974 in the Glenville Sanatorium. The sanatorium is actually supposed to be in West Virginia. Now, like you said, how they got from the mountains into the back part, don't know, but that's fine. We meet Dr. Ryan, who is giving Dr. McQuaid a tour of the sanatorium. And she ends up meeting, this is the first time I feel like we've heard their last name, Hilliker.
Yes, it is.
The Hilliker brothers, Three Fingers, Sawtooth, and One Eye. We get a little bit of a backstory on them and kind of that they killed and basically ate their parents, how they got the injuries that some of them have. But one of the other patients ends up grabbing a hold of Dr. McQuaid, is able to get a hairpin from her, and then as the doctors leave, gets the hairpin over to the brothers. They're able to escape from the cells, release a lot of other patients, and then we just get madness and chaos a little bit where they're murdering orderlies and doctors and some decent kills out of this. What did you think about this opening scene, Matt?
I loved it, but I also had a couple of minor issues. So, like, they mentioned that the reason that he's Three Fingers is because he ate two of his fingers, and I didn't think that was necessary. I feel like with inbred, backwoods, redneck cannibals, like, he could have just been born with three fingers, and I would have been fine with that. Like, we didn't need that he gnawed him off. There's also a part where Sawtooth has a mask on because of his fucked up teeth, and he, after they let him out of the cell, there's no locker, and he just takes the mask off, and I'm like, well, if you could have just done that, why are you wearing this the entire time? Like, what was the point of keeping that on? Like, he just took it off all by himself. He didn't need a key or anything to unlock it. Like,
I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah, that's a good point.
But other than that, it was great. The scene with Dr. McQuaid was the female doctor, right?
Yes.
Where they're giving her the shock therapy.
Yeah.
And she pisses herself at the end of it.
Yes.
Which I wasn't sure if she was dead or just brain dead, because, I mean, I guess if you release after death, so possibly.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the indicator that she died. But that whole thing was really cool.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
It's not like really cool in the sense like, oh, I love watching people get shocked to death, but like knowing that is a treatment that they used in sanatoriums, especially back then. Yeah. And the way that it played out and the way that they did it and the way that they cut, so it wasn't just a long drawn out scene of her like repeatedly getting shocked. We'd cut to other stuff, we'd see other stuff, we'd come back. They're hitting her, they're turning the fucking voltage up, she's smoking, all of that. And then the main doctor with the barbed wire and how they rigged the barbed wire up to the gate mechanism, so as the gears turn, and all of the practical effects that went in with that. Because again, I was expecting shitty CGI after the last movie, and we didn't get shitty CGI, and I was really happy about that. Like, that kind of set the tone for me, those two kills, to where I was like, okay, we're gonna have some fucking fun here, and it's gonna look cool. So I loved it.
I agree. I like this opening scene as well. I like the fact that we've got the three original brothers back. I'm with you. I didn't necessarily need the whole thing, Three Finger, biting some of his fingers off. The one supposedly like pulled out his own eye and ate that. I didn't really need all of that. Luckily, it wasn't too much and didn't take too long for him to give the little speech there on all three of them, or it probably would have bothered me more. But
just let them be deformed.
Yeah. And the other thing that I like about it too, that I think makes this opening fun, is that you see some of the patients that have escaped. They're not all violent. I mean, some of them are just having a blast. There's a couple of like dancing around. There's one that's just like riding down the thing in a wheelchair or something. Some of them are just out there having a good time, and then you got some violent ones as well. But I don't know, it's just kind of a fun opening. Like, I enjoy this, and like you said, it sets the tone for what you got coming.
And another big boon from 3, we went from 2 inbred redneck cannibals to 182 inbred redneck cannibals, Sean.
Yes, we stepped it up a little bit.
182. Obviously, only the 3 stuck around for the whole movie, but like That's a nice bump. That's a pretty good bump. That's a bump of 180
Yes.
inbred backwoods redneck cannibals. I also love that we got a last name for them. We got a little bit of a backstory. Like I said, lore whores, right? So now
Right.
we know that they have a name, that they had a family, where they came from, how they ended up there, that they're in the violent section. I also like the
Yes.
little conversation where he's like, your therapy is not going to work on them. And she goes, I want to start working with them immediately. And then she goes to regret that because immediately they take her in and they start
Yeah.
working with her.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And there was no music in that therapy. That was
Right.
all electroshock. You want to do therapy with them? This is what you're getting. So
Yeah.
that was fun too. Yeah, no, it was a good time.
No, I completely agree. From there, we skip ahead now. It's 2003, and we meet this group of college students. A lot of people here. We've got Kenya, Jenna, Vincent, Sarah, Bridget, Kyle, Claire, Daniel, and Lauren. And they're all getting ready to head out for winter breaks. They're going to go snowmobiling to their friend Porter's cabin in the mountains. But they end up getting lost in a snowstorm. They make the wrong turn and end up having to take shelter in this old sanatorium. They're exploring the place a little bit, looking through photos of the patients, like we talked about. Uh, Kenya sees someone she thinks at one point. They then come across these reels where they're watching videos from the hospital. You can tell that they're all kind of bothered by the stuff they're seeing. And one of the girls, Lauren, um, she starts telling stories that she used to hear about these cannibals and hillbillies and things like that were killing people. Nobody really seems to believe her. They all decide to call it a night, except for Vincent. He explores more into finding their friend Porter's body before he is killed by Sawtooth with a metal spike. So we've got all our character introductions here. We've jumped right in with some of the nudity. That's the way we meet some of these characters. Or
I was gonna say you
two
you
different
you
couples.
kind
Yeah,
of
no,
you
I was
kind of
coming back.
scrub past the
I was
fact
coming
that
back. Yeah, we got two
we
sex
go
scenes going on.
and with no break. Like you go from murder in the sanatorium to two couples having sex in the
Yes,
same room
same room.
together,
Yes.
male and a female and two females,
Yeah,
and there's eye contact going on between them
yes,
as it's happening. Like there's no buffer, there's no like prep. It's just like murder, sex.
yes.
Three
Which is
naked
fantastic,
women,
in
one
my
naked man, and then the girl comes in and starts giving him shit about like, you guys really couldn't wait. Like we gotta
yeah.
go. Fucking horn dogs. Let's
Yeah.
go. Um,
They even invite her to join, but she passes, which I liked her. I kind of wish she
mhm.
would have joined, but that's just
And
me.
then, well, I'm sure they did too. Both sets of couples, honestly.
Yeah, right.
Um, and then also, again, when Vincent goes running off to go do his own exploring, he stops and catches the lesbian couple also messing around in the room.
Yes.
And that was a whole thing. I had a hard time figuring out who was who in this movie, I will say,
Okay.
because it is a large cast of characters
Right.
and nobody is explicitly memorable in my mind except for Timu Jared Padalecki, who also looks like a Kyle, so like that worked for me.
Yeah.
With the large range of female characters, it took me until almost the end of the movie to kind of figure out which female was which. And I
Okay.
had to fix my notes a couple times because I wrote the wrong name down thinking it was the wrong person. But not a huge deal
Yeah.
based on like what we were here for the movie for and what we were getting in this movie. These
Right.
weren't final girls that were going to live on and come back later or anything like that. Like the story did what it needed to do.
Yeah.
So the cast of characters was fine. Like you said, the guys were all kind of fucking douchey.
Sure.
Um, they're college kids. Of
Yeah.
course, we're in a sanitarium. It They walk into the sanitarium and they're like, "Oh, it's warm in here," and then immediately say, "Can we find some wood to start a fire?" And I'm like, first and foremost, you do not start a fire indoors. Second off, you just said it was warm and somebody left the boiler on. So why do you need to start a fire?
Yeah.
If it's warm in there, why do we need to burn shit indoors?
I agree. That was a little awkward.
But now they go exploring. They get to look through some shit, get to see the hospital. We're kind of waiting for the Hilliker brothers to show up or be in the background or whatever. There's tension building in there because they're going around and they're doing their exploring and everything. Again, the whole time I had fun watching this movie. There wasn't a point where I was bored. There wasn't anything where I was like there was little dumb shit, but like
Right.
it's also a fucking straight to DVD fourth entry in the Wrong
Yeah.
Turn franchise. and we've only gone up from the last one. So like, I'm not gonna
Absolutely.
really hang myself up on like the little things.
No, I'm with you because it does have. I mean, it's not a perfect movie. It's got some plot holes. There are some little things here and there, and I agree with you about the characters, with the exception of one. But we've already gotten into the fact that I like the one girl, Kenya. But
Yep.
I had to, with the exception of her, I was exactly with you. There were times, like even when I'm taking my notes and things like that, and I'm like, I really need them to say that girl's name again because I don't remember which one she is. I would
Yep.
really appreciate it if they would say her name so I know who's getting killed right now or something. So I'm with you. Some of the characters you do kind of get mixed up, but again, you've got like 9 people. Um, and I think you get just enough on each one of them. And the movie is fun enough and it's well paced enough that the little bumps here and there don't really bother me. If this movie felt slow, if this movie was boring, if we had bad CGI, some of these things probably would have added to it and bothered me even more. But because the rest of it's so solid, it doesn't here. Go ahead.
I just remembered something as I was going through my notes. There is a thing that they do that ended up being pointless and really bothered me.
Okay.
So as they take off in the snowmobiles and they go for their little snowmobile trip,
Yes.
snow falls off a sign that says it's a tow zone. And we never get back to them getting back to the van or the to see that they were towed and I was like, why did we need to see the snow fall off that they were parked in a tow zone if we never went back to that in the movie whatsoever? Like that was very weird to me. That sign could have said fucking anything. Danger, inbred cannibal sanatorium ahead. Like
Right.
whatever you needed, but it specifically said tow zone, and then we never get back to their cars being gone or missing or towed.
Sure.
I guess maybe it was a reference to the fact that Three Fingers drives a tow truck, and we do see the tow truck. So
That was what I wondered because I'm with you 100%, and I did just wonder that because the tow truck's a big part of some of the other films,
mhm.
but that's what I wondered. And we see that they have the tow truck at the end of this one, so I'm like, is that what this is? Is it just like a little, hey, remember type thing, or did it not have nothing to do with that, and they just forgot that that's what was happening? I don't know, but yeah, I'm with you there. That was a little odd. Um, Did you like the first kill that we get here? Where not the first kill out of the group, at the whole movie, but out of this group, um, where I've already forgot his fucking name, Vincent. His kill by Sawtooth.
Um, yeah. I mean, I, I I was trying to figure out how Vincent knew how to operate a 29-year-old generator in the basement of this place with the lights on, or how,
Yep.
like, maybe we could have said that Daniel, worked at a movie theater and that's how he knew how to string up and work the projector. Because I've watched a lot of movies, I have a general idea of how it works, but I'm not going to go in and proficiently say that I could put a film reel on a projector and get it to run no fucking problem.
Yeah.
Um, but the spike through the nose, the lobotomy, I guess we'll
Yeah.
go with because we're in a hospital,
Right.
was again pretty cool. Not shitty CGI, or at least not CGI to the points where I was looking at it like I could tell that CGI and that sucks. And
Right.
I appreciate that. Plus, he finds their friend Connor who got killed on his
Yes.
way, or Porter,
Porter.
who
Yeah.
got killed on the way up there, and he's talking to this guy, and then the body falls over, and it's a whole thing. So, yeah, it was a nice setup. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I'm with you 100%. And they were going to Porter's cabin, which makes me feel like if the brothers had found him and killed him, the cabin must have been close to this sanatorium. I feel like Porter might would have given them a heads up as to, hey, if you're looking for my cabin and you find a sanatorium, that's not it. But no, who knows? That's just
Yep.
something else I thought about watching this, but that's okay. The next morning, it's still snowing outside, so the group realizes that they're snowed in. They also realize that Vincent is missing, so they begin to look for him. Um, Jenna finally ends up coming across. She finds his body, but she also sees that it's being butchered, so she runs off to warn the others. And then Porter's head ends up getting thrown at them. Claire's freaking out. She backs up and she ends up getting hanged with the barbed wire from the balcony where they lift her up. She eventually is decapitated. One thing here that did bother me a little bit that I'll come back to in a moment, but as the group tries to flee, they find out now that the brothers have taken the spark plug wires from their snowmobiles. Lauren decides that she's the best skier they have, so she's going to ski down the mountain to go from help, while the others try to barricade themselves inside a doctor's office or something and wait for safety. Again, here I'm still having fun with this. I think the pacing's good. I like the effects. I don't know why the one guy, and I don't have his name here in front of me, but I'll mention it later. The guy that's standing there while Claire is being hanged and her head is ripping off, and he's just standing there looking up while all the blood is running down on his
That's
face.
Kyle.
That's Kyle. Okay. I don't
That's
think I'd have
Kyle.
just fucking stood there while all this blood is pouring down on my face. I mean, I might would have been messed up and screaming, but I'm not just going to stand there. Like, this is kind of
Or,
weird.
well, to be fair, Timu Jared Padalecki, Kyle,
Yes. Okay.
was clearly not the brightest, right?
This is true.
Because I'm sitting here thinking, you're tugging on her, and as you tug on her, more blood comes down. Obviously, there's barbed wire around her. All you're doing is hurting her more. You should probably stop. You're not
Yeah.
going to pull her out of the barbed wire. You're not going to save her. I did have that, that he gets soaked in blood. Before we get there, though, so they wake up the next morning, and they're like, hey, have you seen Vincent? And
Right.
his girlfriend's asking around, have you seen Vincent? Have you seen Vincent? No one's seen him. And then they ask Sarah, who is the one of the lesbians, and Sarah's like, I've been running for an hour. How big is this place that you ran for an hour indoors and
Yeah.
did not come across either three cannibals
Yeah.
or anything that led you to be, Vincent's dead body, Porter's dead body? Like,
Right.
how big is this fucking hospital that you could run around this bitch for an hour? Um,
Good point.
my other thing is, so they weren't really clear. Did Sawtooth, One Eye, and Three Fingers eat the other 179 cannibals over the stretch of years?
Yeah, they never really say what happened, so I don't know. I mean,
I think she
maybe.
said some of them left, but not all, most of them stayed or something like that. I don't know.
Right.
Lauren was giving us a little bit of exposition, but I was in my notes. I'm like, so did they eat all 100? Because I mean, I guess 179 people who are inbred like you're an inbred cannibal, like that'll last you a good 30 years that you're chilling in the sanatorium. So
Right.
what I did appreciate was that they're very cosmopolitan. They're cutting up vegetables and making a stew.
Yes.
Like, I loved that. It wasn't just like we're gonna cut meat off and eat raw meat and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like, no, they're cooking a very nice meal with these dead bodies.
This is
And I
true.
was like, hell yeah! Like, very very cosmopolitan. Very
Yeah.
impressed. So,
Absolutely,
I love that.
I agree. No, I agree. And it makes it a little bit different. But yeah, I'm with you here. I'm enjoying this as well. Um, Kyle, Daniel, and Sarah, they end up going to the basement to try to get some weapons, apparently that they had seen before when they were down there. We do get Three Finger chasing them a little bit. We get the laugh. One Eye goes up and tries to attack the girls that stayed behind there in the doctor's office. Sawtooth ends up capturing Daniel. Kyle and Sarah return to the group, but they realize Daniel's not with them. And then we get a lot here of the brothers butchering and eating Daniel, and like you said, making the stew. This scene's pretty brutal. It's pretty rough. Like, I was feeling slightly uncomfortable watching this. Not that I thought it was so gross that I couldn't handle it, but I'm just like, fuck, that would hurt so bad. Like, that's just, it's rough. Like, this is a rough scene.
I
before
kind
the
of wish
group-
Daniel lasted a little longer, honestly. So Daniel, this entire time, has been the safety first guy. Like, he had the helmet on, and they were kind of making him fun
Right.
for the helmet.
Right.
Like, all of these things, he's been like the cautionary safety first guy, which is also why he got caught. But
Yes.
like, I kind of would have, because he is the safety first guy, like to have seen him be one of the last surviving members of the group,
Sure.
for being cautious. But I was also okay with deep fried Daniel. So like,
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Yeah, and it's a great scene. Like I said, I think it's a brutal scene. It's a rough scene. Like, I was feeling for him while I was watching this movie, which I don't think I felt for anybody in 3 and maybe very little in 2. So just the fact that I liked these people enough that I was feeling bad for him was pretty cool. The group didn't completely understand how quickly here. So they basically decide now to use their weapons to attack the brothers and chase them into a cell. I was a little surprised that worked as easy as it did, but that's fine. They get them into a cell. We do get a brief cutaway to Lauren. She's the one that took off on the skiing, and she's struggling and starting to freeze and struggle out there. Kyle's pretty much lost it at this point. He wants to kill the brothers, and they probably should have. But, Kenya talks him out of it, and so they decide to leave the brothers there. Kyle's going to stay watch, but we talked about Daniel getting killed. What were your thoughts here on how quickly, though, they were able to kind of turn the tables and chase the brothers off and chase them into this cell?
It
It's too
didn't bother
easy.
me.
Okay.
Honestly, I can see that. I honestly didn't even register it thinking about
Okay.
it. Be I guess my thought process was, and I guess maybe I should have thought about it more because they did rig up all these traps and contraptions and things like that. So obviously, for backwoods inbred cannibals, they're fairly intelligent or at least have some sort of knowledge.
Right.
So it makes sense why them getting caught so easily uh, seemed off. But as it happened, as I was watching it, it didn't. I guess I knew like we had a runtime in the movie, and they were kind of
Fair.
speeding things up because there were still a lot of people still alive. Like you said,
Right.
Lauren's out in the wilderness. We've still got all of the girls
Yeah.
alive. We've
Yep.
only lost two
Two
guys,
guys. Yeah.
three if you count Porter. So like
Right.
we had some killing to get through. We had to kind of start progressing the movie and get to a point. So that part didn't bother me.
Okay.
Um, I will say Kyle had this handled, and Kenya fucked it up. I know you like
It's
Kenya.
true. I do,
She
but it
fucked
was
it
a
up.
bad decision. Yeah. Yeah. They should have killed him then. I completely agree. I
Uh
do like
huh.
her, but she did fuck it up. And, that's just sometimes, sometimes we need to listen to women. Sometimes we don't. Um, Kenya, I probably would have listened to her too, and then we know what would have happened to me. But I agree that Kyle should
You
have
would have
killed
got
him.
dressed up and murdered
I would
by
have.
Kenya and her friends.
Yeah, so it would not have worked out for me. So I really need to think things through better, I guess, in my decision making. But the girls now, so Kyle's watching the brothers here in this cell they've got them in. The girls are going to go look for the spark plug wires. Here's something that also, and they don't, I mean, they're struggling, they're not finding them. This is something I thought as well. I understand the plan they're trying to come up with, but we just talked about how the one girl went running for an hour and never saw anything, and now these three think they're going to be able to look over this entire sanitarium and find some spark plug wires. Like when they mentioned this idea, and again, I love this movie. It doesn't make me not like it, but I'm like, that's a stupid fucking idea. You are never going to find these wires in this place ever.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking that then. Uh,
Well, they did find the area where they were living, and I feel like the Hillikers had to have had the spark plug somewhere accessible. Like they didn't run off to a random part of the sanitarium and drop them off
right.
because they were kind
That's
of
fair.
keeping into a localized area. So if you could find
Sure.
where, and you knew where they were cooking, I'd
True.
assume you wouldn't want your kitchen that far from where your living quarters are. You don't want to walk across the entire. Then again, you're there for
Yeah.
30 years. You might get bored. Maybe you fucking do. I don't know. Maybe you move
Who
around.
knows? Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, like you're panicked. You're in a rush. And that's never a good mindset to be in when you're trying to look for something because you're probably going to walk past it four times
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
and it's right in front of you and not see it because you're thinking about so many things to try and find what you're looking for. Like, if you've ever woken up late and you
Oh,
can't
yeah.
find your fucking keys and they're right
Yes.
in front of your fucking face, but you've walked past them six times looking everywhere,
Yeah.
like that's exactly what's going to happen with these spark plugs.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's almost an everyday occurrence around here. I mean, I'm getting older now, but I even sometimes find myself looking for my phone while it's in my hand. But that's for public. That's happened to me a couple of times. So we'll move on. Um, we've got Kyle standing guard. Kyle ends up falling asleep, and as he falls asleep, the brothers escape. Um, Kenya goes down to check on him because she's going to take the next watch, but she realizes that the brothers are gone, that Kyle's gone. She takes back off up to let the other girls know. And then we get what turns out to be Kyle. They think it's one of the brothers trying to attack them, but he's been dressed up a little bit. They've cut his tongue out so he can't really scream for help or anything. The girls end up attacking him and stab him repeatedly. I mean, another brutal but looks good kill, and then take the mask off and realize that it's Kyle. Did you like the little twist? Did you see it coming? What were your thoughts here?
Um, I mean, I don't know that I saw it coming, but I had a feeling it wasn't obviously one of the brothers.
Okay.
They did not trick me into thinking it was one of the brothers. I don't know who I thought it was. Maybe Lauren coming back. I don't know.
Okay.
For some reason, I didn't register it
Okay.
as Kyle,
Yeah.
but I also wasn't thinking about like, hey, yeah, no, Kyle's missing. It's probably him. Um, so the reveal was cool, and then like you said, it's a trope, but it's a trope that I love. We cut out the tongue so that way he can't tell them who he is, or you
Right.
sew the mouth shut. Whatever you got to do to keep them from talking, so you can use
Yeah.
them as a decoy. Which again, I don't know where these brothers got their hunting talents from, where they got their trapping skills from, because that is
Right.
one piece of lore we didn't get. They are excellent at, doing these things, putting out bait, uh, trapping, and all of this stuff. So
Yeah.
it goes to what we know who they will be in
Right.
Wrong Turn.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And yeah, the first time I watched this movie, I remember distinctly, I didn't even come close to thinking about that being Kyle. I always kind of forget about it now because I've seen this movie a few times. I kind of forget about it now until it starts to happen, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is the dude, this is Kyle. But the first time, I'm with you. I don't know who I thought it was. I didn't think it was Kyle, but I also didn't think it was a brother. It plays out good though. I mean, I like it. With Kyle dead now the brothers start chasing these remaining girls around. They end up getting to this place where they're trying to break a window and climb through it, but there's also this huge snowdrift there in front of the window that they're having to crawl through. Two of them make it. Jenna, however, does not. She is caught and killed. Brothers then chase down the girls outside on the snowmobile. So, like you said, they obviously had these wires fairly close because they were able to put them back in and make the snowmobiles go again. So, they're chasing them around out there. Kenya gets injured. Uh, Bridget's kill wasn't bad. I kind of wish we just saw more. We just saw a lot of blood spraying here when
And
they
that
killed
felt
Bridget.
CGI.
Yeah,
I feel like that blood was CGI, and I literally have really good until CGI Bridget snowmobile kill.
okay. Yeah. No, I'm with you. Because that one does. I mean, there's a lot of blood going on. You're not really seeing what they show you enough that you know what's happening, but at the same time, you're not really seeing anything than just a lot of blood spraying all over the place, kind of like an Evil Dead movie. To a certain degree, there's just blood going everywhere, and a lot of it. She had a lot of blood, I guess, there coming out. But um, what were your thoughts on the brothers chasing the girls through the sanatorium, Jenna's kill, and then we already talked about Bridget. But
Um, what could possibly have been the need for the giant post hole digger in the sanatorium? Because here's my
really
thing.
good question.
I'm with 90% of this movie, right? Like little
Yeah.
things here or there, but you're in a sanatorium. They go rummaging around. They go looking for weapons. They find weapons. So I'm like, okay, you have a smorgasbord of weapons that makes sense being in a sanatorium. And don't get me wrong, Sawtooth looks cool as shit lugging this thing
Oh
around.
yeah, absolutely.
But why was it there, and why did it look brand new? Like, where did this come from?
Yeah, I agree.
So,
I'm with you there. That's a very, very good point. And I did think about that watching it. I didn't write anything down about it, but I was wondering the same thing. Where the hell did he get this? So yeah, I'm with you. It's a great weapon. I don't know where he got it.
once we get up to the point that they get out,
Mhm.
the movie starts feeling really rushed. Like they had more planned, but we had to get to a conclusion. Maybe it's the chaos or whatever, but everything from once we get outside the sanatorium now, to me, felt really rushed. Like Sarah and Kenya and Bridget being separated, Bridget getting run down, Sarah leaving Kenya to run after Bridget when they're supposed to be together, and then what you're about to talk about, all of that, like everything felt kind of chaotic and rushed. And I guess maybe it would feel chaotic with three guys on a snowmobile hunting you down and
Yeah.
chasing you around and splitting you up, or trying to anyway. But that was my only thing, was like, I feel like we got to this point and now we've got too many people left alive, and now we've got to start killing people off.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think that's exactly what happened. And why I don't know, because you were just talking about that earlier, how we've still got a lot of characters alive here at this one point, and then now suddenly that's all going to have to change pretty quickly, and it does seem to happen very, very fast. And it's a little disappointing. I mean, I would like to have gotten more, because this far I think this has been really good. So for this to be a little rushed, it does bother me. We do send Dawn arises, and we see that Lauren is now frozen to death. She didn't make it. Kenya is still being chased, uh, but the one of the brothers that's chasing her, Sarah, ends up coming out of nowhere and knocking them off of the snowmobile. Kenya and Sarah then get the snowmobile and believe that they are escaping, that they are riding to safety. The first time I got watched this movie, did not see this scene coming at all, and it kind of shocked me. I was like, "What the fuck just happened?" Because I
Yep.
think it looks cool, but
Hmm.
they're riding this snowmobile. They end up running into this razor wire and get beheaded. And it's almost like they realize it right as it's too late because you hear them scream something like they're laughing, they're happy, they're just about to get away, and then suddenly you hear a scream, and then boom, they hit the razor wire. Three Finger comes up, picks up their heads, puts them in the tow truck, and the brothers leave as the credits and the music starts. What were your thoughts on the finale here and the beheading of Kenya and Sarah?
If this had happened back by the tow zone area, I would have been much happier.
Okay.
If we had come back around to the tow zone. I also remember the first time I watched this being surprised by the beheading. I
Yeah.
should have known it was coming. It makes sense because this is a prequel. We know
Right.
that the three brothers live on and go to do what they're doing,
Yeah.
and obviously these girls don't come back.
Right.
We've also learned through the Wrong Turn franchise that these inbred cannibals are just out here doing shit, and the cops don't seem to care. So I guess it wouldn't have
Yes.
mattered if they did survive and
Right.
tell people or not. But it made sense for everyone to die. Lauren's whole thing was a little disappointing.
I agree.
Like this whole side story of her being like the skier who goes to ski and then freezes to death on her own, doesn't make it. Like that was a little disappointing to me. I feel like we didn't. It was kind of a useless side plot
Yeah.
that we didn't even really focus too much on.
Well, yeah, because we only got like one shot of her prior. Once she leaves, we see her one time struggling
Yep.
a little bit, and then the next time we see her, she's dead. So it does feel like a useless side plot because you barely see her from that point on. You just find out later, oh, she died. I mean, that's kind of it. So yeah, I'm with you.
But the decapitation is really cool because
Yes.
again, you don't see it coming. I at
Right.
least I don't think a lot of people see it coming. I could be wrong. There are a lot of
Right.
really smart people out there, but I didn't see it coming the first time. They're escaping. There was no indication. There was no give or tell that this was going to happen, and then all of a sudden, like you said, there's a scream, and then their heads are flying off, and it was a
Yeah.
really cool way to end a prequel movie. So yeah, no, I was good with this.
Yeah. I'm with you. I hated again because we've already talked about this a couple of times because I like Kenya. I kind of hated that she died. But again, knowing it's a prequel, knowing what's coming, the whole thing, I get it, and it makes it more effective to a degree that none of them did get away. So liked her character. Wish she could have been a final girl and lived, but totally get why not. And it does look really cool. I like this finale as well. Um, and then yeah, like I said, then we get the tow truck. Three Fingers putting the heads in the tow truck, and we get to see it, which is kind of more of the lore, as you were saying, because we know they've always had this tow truck since the first film.
But where did
Um,
it come from? Why did we not address that? Why were we not back at the tow zone? Like, even if you had just had the tow zone sign where their heads were, and then the
yeah,
tow truck there, I would be like, oh, okay. So he's
that's
got a
what they
tow
got.
truck and it's a tow zone. Like, we would have tied
Yeah,
that in, and I would have been happy.
right.
Doesn't need to be much.
Yeah, they just missed a little step there. I get it. Anything else? We've made it through Wrong Turn 4. Anything else you want to say about this one, Matt, before we try to score this movie?
Again, like, if you sit down and you have never seen these movies, if I could recommend two movies, it's going to be the original. You need to see the original, just
I agree.
for shits and giggles. But if you are in it for what we've said we're here for, fun, inbred cannibals, killing people, and all of the tropes that you'd get from a slasher movie, this movie has it all. The
Does.
acting is not going to be great, but this is one of the ones out of the franchise I definitely recommend sitting down to watch. Um,
Yes.
I had it. It's not a great movie. It's not a cinematic masterpiece, but it
No.
is a fun fucking time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree. And I mentioned that earlier, like you were saying just now. This is not a great movie. There's problems. There's some plot holes. The acting is not great. There's issues. But for someone like you've talked about what we watch these movies for, you and I, and then just somebody that's such a slasher guy. I mean, just that I slasher films being what I love, and especially like slashers from the mid 70s to mid 80s. This movie felt a little bit like something like that to me, somewhat. It as a slasher guy, I'm like, this is everything I could want in a movie. I mean, what I'm seeing in this movie is the same things I want to see when I watch a Friday the 13th movie.
Yep.
It's got everything I want. This is a very, very solid. I agree with you. You can skip 2 and 3. You don't have to watch those. Watch 2
At
just to
all.
see Crystal Low. I mean, if you wanted to see Crystal Low, watch 2.
Or
But
go
skip
watch
3.
Final Destination 3. And if you haven't done that, make sure you do it. And then come check out Sean and Kelly and Sarah
Yes,
talking about it.
that's right. Yes, we will. I just feel like I have more freedom to talk about Crystal Low with you. I don't know why, but it is what it is. But yeah, you can skip those. But 1 and 4, I really like 1. I mean, I discussed that when we talked about it, and I really, really enjoyed this one. This is everything that I look for in the kind of movies that I enjoy the most. So, I very solid film in my opinion. Um, all right, so I'm very curious about this part as well. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you score Wrong Turn for?
Again, I'm scaling this based off of the Wrong Turn franchise.
Sure.
And I said I would have to go back and see what I did for Wrong Turn 1 and possibly re-evaluate my opinion on that after watching 2 and 3. But I know it was like a 5 or 6. I know it wasn't high.
Yeah, I think I gave it an 8, and you I can't remember what you said, but yeah, I was sad when you gave your score.
I know you were. But it didn't really deliver on the kills, like I said. Like
True.
It didn't deliver for me the way that I remembered it delivered. The acting is great, but there weren't. This was far better as far as kills and
Absolutely.
everything I was looking for. So I'm gonna give this an 8.
Okay. I think that's fair because I really, really like this movie, and for the longest time, I have always said about this franchise that the first one is my favorite, and then 4. After watching this again the other day, I'm like, you know what? As much as I love Eliza, and as much as I love the first one, I like this movie better. It's just more fun and has everything that I'm looking for, which I'm almost thinking the opposite of you now. I'm almost thinking maybe I scored the first one too high. I still wouldn't drop it much. I wouldn't drop it much at all because I really do enjoy that film. It's another one of those. It's just like an all-time comfort movie for me. But I feel like I gave it an 8, and if I gave it an 8, this one's better. It doesn't deserve a 9. Like we're not talking that good, but I think I'm going to say 8.5, just because I feel like I gave the first one an 8, and I do still really like it. But this one's a touch better, just because of the kills. The kills are so much better. It delivers on everything that you could want in this kind of movie, in my opinion. So I'm going to say an 8.5. So yeah, I think this is the first time out of the 4 movies we both agreed that 3 was bad, and I think we were pretty close on 2. But this is the closest we've been so far as ranking 1. So I'm glad this was a hit.
Hell yeah!
And now
this is what we came for, Sean. This is what
that's
we came
right.
for.
Absolutely, this is what we were talking about in the beginning, and we finally got it. So that's fantastic. And now again, I don't remember much about 5 at all. I think the only thing that I remember about 5 is that Doug Bradley is in the movie.
Okay.
That's all I can remember. I'm pretty sure Doug Bradley is in the movie, and I feel like, in the first film we've got the old timer that's running the gas station there, and then we find out in the second film that he's related to the cannibals. I feel like Doug Bradley is part of the family in this next one.
It would make sense given the title.
Yeah, so I feel like that's what's coming in 5. But I don't remember any other character. I don't remember any of the kills. I think I've only seen it once. And so now I'm like, did I only watch it once because I didn't like it, or did I just never get back to it? So I'm looking forward to watching 5 and seeing what we think about it.
Well, like I said, it's the same director as this one, so hopefully he's learned from the abomination that 3 was.
Yeah,
and he did, because he made this one, and this one was so much better. So hopefully we carry on with that.
Yep, I completely agree. It's going to be a lot of fun. And yes, I'm going to give Matt a chance here to promote what he's got coming up and everything again. But definitely go check out Getting Off and check out Creatia World. We've talked about this a little bit in the past, but I met Matt through Kelly and Sarah over there at the Final Girls. They mentioned to me that their friend Matt, they thought we would get along. They were telling me about his trick or trivia game. And I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. I'll play the game and we'll see what happens. And there's not too many. I record with a lot of different people. I'm very fortunate to have a pretty big group out there that I work with. There's not many of them that crack me up more than Matt does. And in fact, I think the last time I was on, because I was on a Patreon episode with Sarah and Kelly, and somehow I believe that's the one. Somehow your name came up. It was either that or one of my shows. I don't remember, but your name came up, and I just kept talking about them. Like, Matt cracks me up. Matt is great, and they were both like, Matt's something. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. But definitely go check out the stuff that Matt is involved in, and he is going to be back not only to talk about Wrong Turn 5, but he is going to be back with me live next week to talk about the Black Phone. I'll come back to that in a minute. Matt, go ahead and talk about Getting Off, talk about Creatia World, and everything that you have coming up, sir.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Trick or Trivia because next month Trick or Trivia returns. Kelly and I actually sat down, seeing as she is the reigning champion, and came together since we just did the Patreon episode on it, since Evil Dead Burn just recently dropped. We decided that this episode, which is going to be the redemption episode, so everyone that lost to Sean and everyone that lost to Reek gets to come back and get a second shot to go to the finals to face them again, as well as Kelly to determine the champion. So everyone is coming back, and it is all things Evil Dead. Me and Kelly sat down, cultivated the questions, got the game show all ready to go, so it's set up. It's just sitting down to record it live for you guys. So if you guys are into horror movie trivia or Evil Dead, that is right around the corner. It's about a month away. You've mentioned Creatia World. I don't talk about it as much because it's not my show. It's a show that I'm on.
Okay.
But I do love it.
Sure.
It's an outlet for me to talk about other things besides horror or
right
before wrestling. We've been doing movie reviews on there. The most recent episode you guys can go check out right now. Mara picked Daddy Daycare for us to sit down and watch, which I had honestly never seen because I was like 16 when it came out, and I was not interested in an Eddie Murphy as a dad doing daycare movie.
Right.
But I got to watch it with my 5-year-old daughter, and she really enjoyed it. So we talk about that. And then I picked an animated film that I absolutely love that Travis has never seen, that I've been trying to get him to see forever. So our next episode, which will be out live this Thursday after you guys watch this, is on Wreck-It Ralph. So if you guys are into, anything outside of horror, because we've done Tombstone, we've done Dracula Untold, we've done a bunch of different movies. Come check those episodes out. They're very fun. Mara and Travis are great and fantastic. So that is also all available. And then, like I said, this upcoming Sunday, from when you guys watch this, Katie has sat down at this point, watched Joyride, and we are going to get her thoughts on it, as well as all the latest news and rumors in the horror world that Katie finds, and react to some new trailers. And it's going to be a good time. So come join us for that.
Absolutely. Yes, definitely go check it out for sure. Now, let's see what I've got coming. So yes, the time this airs, so tomorrow night, Tuesday the 25th, I will have Matt as well as my friends Isaiah from The Bitter Wolf and Mike from Mike and Cereal. The four of us are going to sit down live, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on the 25th, to talk about the Black Phone and the Black Phone 2. Things we like, things we don't like, if there's going to be a third one at some point, what we'd like to see, which movie we like better, what do we think of The Grabber. Of course, we'll have people in the chat going on that we'll be also interacting with. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to our Black Phone live episode on the 25th. I also have episodes coming later this week. 2 times, Robbie and Kaylee from That Horror Couple will appear. First, they're going to come on and we're going to talk about Halloween from 2007, so Rob Zombie's Halloween. And then they're coming back just a couple of days later to talk about Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. They're going through the Halloween franchise and the Friday the 13th franchise with me. So they'll be on twice this week as well. Lots of fun stuff coming. Be sure and subscribe so you don't miss anything. Follow me on social media. I'm on everything out there: Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, X, TikTok, Letterboxd. Just search Sean's Horror Corner and you will be able to find it. This has been a lot of fun. Matt, thank you again for coming on, sir. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't wait to have you on for the Black Phone and talk about that, and then back again for Wrong Turn 5. It's going to be a blast.
Hell yeah.
All right. So everyone, thank you for watching. Matt, thank you for being here. Like I said, subscribe, like, share, comment, hype. You do all those things, and I will see you soon.